Yeah, obviously it's another big game. Irrelevant of the fact that we've clinched the playoff, it's another big game for us in terms of where we want to finish in the standings. So, we're prepared. We've had obviously a long travel back, no excuses. We've had little prep time, no excuses. We still know what we need to do, how we can execute against. I say, I've got a lot of respect for Sean. He's a good coach, a lot of respect for their team. They're a very good team, and they're on a bit of a run with momentum at the moment. So it's going to be a big game, big challenge, but one that we're, really looking forward to.
Either of you have any questions?
Yeah, I was just going to be, as you kind of stated there, the importance of this game. It is the last game of the season, but there's a lot riding on this as far as the playoffs are concerned and home field advantage. So this is kind of a lot going on for this final game.
Yeah, it's a big game. It's not just a big game for us. It's a big game for a few other teams that are in the mix as well, depending on the result. So it's a game we want to win. We know we need to be at our very best to get all 3 points. We've had a difference in schedule this week, which I think has helped us. So yeah, it's a game we're looking forward to. We know that we're prepared. They're a good team, and we've got to be able to go out there and perform.
Win's always important, obviously. But as far as momentum into the postseason, you much rather going off a win than a tie or a loss.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'd always rather go into your next game off the back of a win in terms of confidence and momentum. And all we can do is control what we can control, and that's our performance and our attitude and how we execute our game plan. The rest will take care of itself.
Frank?
And Coach, talk to me a little bit about, dive deeper into, what are some, the main keys for you going into the season?
They're very good. They're a very good team. They've got real good, Davina's a threat. We need to make sure we take care of her. Ordonez is a very good threat in the box. So we have to be able to deal with crosses and make sure we can, deal with her, especially in set piece situations. They're good on set pieces. But also there's spaces that they leave that we can exploit. So we have to focus on how we can do that, how we can exploit them, in terms of their formation and what they do, but also be very aware of their threats and minimize the spaces that they play in.
Last question here. You kind of talked about it, having to win the momentum. What's the energy like around here? Because what I'm feeling from you right now, focus, full steam ahead. So what is the team?
Yeah, listen, they're a very, very focused group. They want to win. They were absolutely devastated at the weekend to come away with a draw and not win it. They know that the performance probably wasn't what we needed it to be. So their full focus now is to improve for this weekend. We know we're going to need to improve, and we're more than capable. We've shown this season we're more than capable to go to Portland away and get a result. Go to Chicago, go down to 10, get a result, play at home and play some fantastic football as well. So we need to recreate those moments and make sure that we're, focused, but at the same time, relaxed. The pressure's off. We've already clinched that playoff, so the pressure's off in that sense, but we still want to win this game to finish as high as we can.
As far as playing Snapdragon, you got the one under your belt, but you get to go back there again on Friday. What did that do for the team as far as the crowd, the atmosphere, the stadium itself? Yeah,
it certainly brought us, the win, I think. I thought it carried us over the line. The fans were incredible. It was electric. And the players are looking forward to getting back there.
Just kind of, I can probably touch on this a million times, but being an expansion team, we look at other sports, and I think other than in hockey, an expansion team doesn't do so well.
Yeah.
I think the Golden Knights made the playoffs in the Stanley Cup. But where you guys are, this is this what you expected, or?
Well, yeah, I think we've made history in terms of being the first expansion team to be in the playoffs, but you look at the players' reaction and probably my reaction last weekend. Our standards are so high. We wanted to try and win it, and that was our aim. I was told at the beginning of the season, expansion teams don't do well. And, we didn't really set a target at the start. It was one game at a time. Let's build, let's develop, let's grow, let's learn from our lessons. And we've done that throughout the season, and we've stayed in a healthy position. We're still in a healthy position, and we want to finish well.
Alicia, if you want to go ahead.
Thank you. Hi, Casey. I wanted to ask about the injury status of Abby and Taylor, and to an extent Alex as well, if you have any updates on any of them, and if any of them will be available on Friday.
Yeah, Orlando was a really rough trip for us. Yeah, at the moment, all being medically examined, and I should have further news hopefully tomorrow. I can't give you too much at the moment because, all I can say is Abby will definitely be out. And we're just waiting on the other two because we took some hits.
One more for me. Obviously, you have the international break coming up as well, and at least one of your players is already announced as being out for that. So does that complicate things a little bit when you're moving into the playoffs and kind of balancing between international duty and kind of the business end of the season?
Yeah, can I be really honest? I cannot understand why every team is going to Europe during a playoff time. It's an absolutely ridiculous decision for me when there's a November window when it could have been done then. But I understand the international teams have a job to do, the coaches have a job to do, the federations have a job to do. It certainly hasn't helped this league. I don't think it's a sensible decision to take players that far ahead of quarterfinal playoffs. But you know, I'm a club manager, so I'm going to say that. It does make it difficult, but we have to manage it. The situation is what it is. We have to manage it, and we have to make sure that we prepare whilst those players are away, and then prepare diligently when they return.
Great, thank you.
Patty.
Thank you. Hi, Casey. Thanks for taking my question. I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about Sophia Jakobsen and what impact she's made on the team on and off the pitch.
Soph's a really good character. She's very direct and very funny in our environment. I don't think we've seen the best of her yet, if I'm honest, and she knows that, and she said that herself. You know, we signed her because she's such a good player. She gives us energy and legs, and she's very good at running in behind. So, you know, that's something that you definitely need in this league. But, you know, she's took a little bit of time to settle. I think we have the best of her yet to come, and I'm excited to see that. But she's been incredible for us in terms of the environment and character piece and what she's been able to add.
She's one of the more seasoned veterans on the club. And I mean, like, she's played on clubs throughout the world, as you know, played at the highest level internationally. How do you coach a player like Sophia? Or do you just let her do her thing?
No, you coach everybody. Help and guidance. It doesn't matter if you're Sophia, you're Alex, you know, or you're one of the rookies. It's, you know, you help, you coach, you guide, you help, but there's certain things that they do that are instinctive, and then you leave them alone. You know, you don't try and coach the skill set that they've got out of them. You try and play the game to their strengths. And she's an ultimate pro in this environment. She leads by example in that way, and I think our young players can learn a lot in terms of her preparation for games and the way she applies herself.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
2 balls and a mic.
Good morning, Coach. Just a quick question. As you're wrapping up the regular season, what's something that Coach Casey Stoney herself has learned about her coaching style, or something that you look back and say, this is what this San Diego Wave season and team has taught me, and moving forward, you're going to move with that?
Oh, there's lots of questions, lots of answers I could give. I think I've learned about myself that I'm able to adapt in circumstances and based on games and the way this league is. What I've learned about my team is their absolute ability and resilience and character. You know, I said it to him at the weekend. There's not many teams that go 2-0 down and can come back in the way that they can. Unfortunately, we've done it too many times, and I've said we need to try and concede less goals now. So we have to, you know, not give ourselves a mountain to climb, but they can do it. They're so resilient, and they believe right until the end. You know, and I'm privileged to work with them.
Thank you.
Last question, Stephanie.
Hi, Coach. I spoke to a colleague in Barcelona earlier today, and the sentiment over there is that they're appreciative of both you and Alex Morgan showing support to this 15 Spanish players that have refused to play for their federation. And I just wanted to ask, how important is it for the players to have a voice in circumstances like this?
It's so important to have a voice, but it's more important they're listened to and heard. This isn't just one, like I said, it's not 1 or 2 or 3 players. And even if it was, it's 15 of their top internationals. And I will reiterate, the things that women have to go through to even play the game, the choices they have to make, the hurdles they have to face, the barriers that are put up for you to even play the game. These 15 players haven't made this decision lightly. They haven't opted out of international football lightly. This is the pinnacle of their career. So someone needs to be asking why, and someone needs to be hearing them, and someone needs to, you know, get in a room and sort this out, because it's not looking great from the federation to say that they're just going to ban them. You know, it's not, I can't see this as a player empowerment thing. You know, this is something that, you know, and I work with honor at Manchester United. She's not making this decision lightly. She's an incredible character. So I don't know the full story, but I think someone needs to find out why and ask the questions, because this is a huge decision for them. Don't forget there's a World Cup next year. These players are taking themselves out of a World Cup. Why? So for me, I'm in full support of them. This does not happen lightly.
Sure. I think we're all super excited for another game at Snapdragon. It's our last game of the season, so it's a big one for us, and we know that, but it's just another game that we have another opportunity to learn and grow as a team as we head into playoffs. So I think we're just really excited, preparing for it, and just ready for it to be Friday.
Yeah, I agree with everything that Chris said. I think that we're all just super excited and, just ready to get playing in Snapdragon again. It was an amazing environment, so we're excited to get back.
Questions too.
The significance of this game is it's the last game of the regular season, but there's some playoff implications here. What's the thought going into the game as far as how you guys need to work? Either way.
I think just getting the most amount of points that we can out of this game would help us. And yeah, I think just going out and doing our best.
Yeah, I think, highest priority is getting 3 points. I think we know we can do that if we show up and play how we know how to play and trust in ourselves and each other. And if we show up and play our best, I have no doubt that we are capable of getting 3 points.
And I guess from what I heard, there's possibility of home field advantage, correct? If you win on them.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's huge. And we would obviously love that. So we just, again, need to show up and be our best selves. And I think we can accomplish that. Thank you.
You mentioned Snapdragon. Game number 2, Snapdragon. What did it do for you guys? The brand new stadium, the fans, the whole bit. What did it do for you on the field?
I think for me, it helps me keep going, knowing that there's people out there that genuinely want you to succeed. It makes you want to just push harder and keep going and make that last ditch effort.
Yeah, I agree.
Home field advantage there, right?
Yeah, 100%. Frank?
So Jaedyn, first thing I want to ask you about this is that, you made history, but I want you to talk to me about what's that like for you? Because just being able to start being your age, no matter what age, being on this team, just talk to me. What was going through your head when, you found out that you made history? Talk to me.
I think, just being here is an amazing opportunity for me, being able to play in the league, being able to be in this environment with these kinds of players and coaching staff. I think it's just me trying to take as much advantage of it as I can, just learn from it and grow. And I think being able to play in a stadium like Snapdragon and in front of fans like San Diego has, I think is just, a dream come true. And my mindset is just pushing forward. There's no ceiling, just, trying to, go as far as I can.
And even though, I'm going to be doing a story about you, I want you to talk to me. I want you to talk to me just a little bit about both of y'all, of how, we talked about it earlier with Coach Stoney when she was out here about, the expansion team, nobody saw this coming, but you guys did. That's the whole thing. I feel like that's the theme of this whole season. It's we're not surprised. So talk to me about how you guys are just focused in getting over that expansion team. We're here.
Yeah, I think, that's very true. I think as an expansion team, people didn't think we were capable of much, and I think their expectations were actually very low. And I think we just took that as fuel, and we're going to make history, and we know the players we have here, we know the staff we have here, we know the support we have here, and we know that we can accomplish things that teams that have been established for much longer can accomplish as well. And we didn't take that as a way out or as an excuse. We just took it and used it as fuel, and we're going to smash every low expectation and set the bar for further and expansion teams to come. So yeah, we've always believed in ourselves. So
yeah, I think with me coming in later, it was definitely something that I noticed, just team, like there's no boundaries. There's just like, you just go and do as much as you can and, make history. This team is a history making team. And I think that, everybody has bought into that.
Patty? Patty, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Cut me off guard there.
Sorry.
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my question. This is for Jaedyn. Jaedyn, a couple months under your belt now, and you talk about learning and growing, and you've already kind of made your mark. But what are some of the things, like I was talking to Coach earlier, and she said like Sophia Jakobsen's like game prep is like, top tier. And is that something that you learned from, or what are some of the things that you've been able to learn from players like Sophia and Alex and even Christen?
Yeah, I think these women take so much care of their bodies and like just preparing for games and making sure that they're in tip-top shape for, the game coming on the weekend. And I think just like seeing that and learning, what works for me and what doesn't is just, it's a great opportunity.
Thank you. Oh, follow-up. Can I get a quick follow-up, Bernadette? Sorry. Just a quick follow-up. Have you gotten any advice from any of these players? Have they taken you under their wing and given you some good advice that kind of like resonates?
I think the thing that I get the most is just have fun and, enjoy the moment. I think, after the game, after I scored in Snapdragon, Alex just told me just take it in and enjoy the moment. And yeah, just, try to do it as much as I can.
That's awesome. Good luck this weekend. Appreciate it.
Alicia?
Thank you. Hi to both of you. Thanks for your time. I wanted to ask, kind of related to Patty's question about, being in the best shape possible, being prepared. You're coming to the end of the season. It's been a long season, but you have the playoffs ahead, taking care of your bodies and trying to avoid injury. There's been a couple injuries in the last couple weeks, to the team. So how do you sort of mediate, this stretch of the year in trying to stay healthy, but also trying to, give it your all and go for the win every time you're out there?
Yeah, I think like Jaedyn touched on, it's just game prep and managing yourself like every day. And it's just making that a priority and knowing what your personal body needs and making sure you're accountable for doing those things that are going to set you up to be able to perform on the weekend. So that looks different for everybody. But I think at this stage, at this level, everyone is aware of what they need. So I think it's just taking it upon themselves to make sure they do that 100% so that we can continue to stay healthy and continue to perform as we go into the playoffs. So
is there a mental component to it though, where you're sort of like, okay, maybe I don't go as hard into this challenge as I would otherwise, or you really can't play like that? You have to kind of go all out, or, like, is there a mental side where you need to sort of like rein it in a little bit when you get to this part of the year?
I would say there's a mental aspect outside of practice. Like I think we all practice as if we're competing and we're playing, but I take the mental aspect outside of soccer and I just really make sure there's times where I can unplug and do things that fulfill me outside of soccer so that I can recharge and be able to show up and give it my all every practice and every game. So I think there is a mental aspect, but at least for me personally, it isn't in practice or anything like that. It's more outside of taking care of my mental health and stuff outside of soccer.